Hi everyone. So I'm outside right now. I'm working on one of my projects. What you're looking at here is my mobility scooter trailer, and I'm wiring up some lights for it. So what I've got to do right now are two solders. It's this group of wires and this group of wires. These here are carbon welding pads. They are able to retain, this model is 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason I got them out is not to melt the plastic on the wire, and although I've got it covered right now, not to melt the plastic junction box. So it's protection for this. So I'm going to be using my micro torch. I have a soldering station in my home, but for the width of these wires, it's not powerful enough. What I'm soldering are 6 18-gauge wires. It's approximately the width of an 8-gauge wire. So what I was primarily wanting to share was to remind people to use these felt type welding pads, or welding mats might be a different word. And these particular size are 12 inches by 12 inches by a quarter of an inch. I bought 6 of them, and I've got a big welding mat as well for when I'm actually doing welding, and that is 6 feet by 4 feet, so that when the sparks come off, it's landing there instead of starting a fire like a dried grass fire, for example. So I'm going to light up the torch. The blue flame on this doesn't show too well on the camera, but it's on. This is a Dremel micro torch, and it's refillable. There's a spot for butane to go in right down at the bottom. And this is a flux core electrical solder. There's no lead in this particular model. So I'm just trying to heat up the very end of it. If you're able to see the smoke on the camera, that's the bit of flux that I put on the wires to start with. Oh yeah, it's already warm and starting to take it. So what I'm trying to do is get the wires closest to the mobility scooter coated. And the idea is I'm only going to keep about 1 inch of the, there we go. I'm only going to keep about 1 inch of this. I made the pigtail 2 inches just to have some extra to cut off once it's all done. Just got a little bit more I need to put on here. So it's melting fine. The heat's transferred down the copper, and that's all coated now. If you're able to see the smoke that's coming off of it, that's just burning off the extra flux. So I've just done the one. I'm going to move the camera to be closer as I do the second soldering. So this is the second one that needs doing, is right there. And if you can see it, this is what I've completed already. So I'm just going to relight the torch. Okay. And I have made a lot of use of my Dremel micro torch. I didn't know if I'd be able to do it at the time or not, and if it'd be worth spending the money, but it really has paid off. I'm doing this outside to prevent or to limit the breathing of the fumes that come off this. I live in Canada, so in the winter months, I normally would do this type of thing in the bathroom with the exhaust fan turned on, just to vacate the smoke and the toxins that are created from the flux. There we go. Just a little bit more. So that little bit of fire, if you're able to see it, is the flux core burning. There we go. Okay, just a little bit more. Yeah, that's solid. Okay, so I've got the soldering done now. So I just was going to show you taking these pads off. This is what they look like. It's just black, and it's thick enough to be able to take the heat. So you can see here I was protecting the plastic handle, and this is a wiring harness right here that I wanted to protect the covering. And you can see here that I wanted to protect the plastic junction box. And the last part that I was trying to protect was the wires down here and into here. That's a little bit hot still. So it's turned out pretty good. I've melted a little bit of the wire, but it gets heat shrink tubing goes over this neck, so it's not a big deal. Hope each of you are doing well. Bye for now.